needs and your education. Okay, so here you come across each and everything, every aspect about the drug regulatory affair. Okay, so here our guest has a great experience in the drug regulatory affair. So I welcome Mr. Umakant Chikli. He is a senior executive as in the drug regulatory affair, that is Bril Pharma Limited. Okay, in Mumbai. So I welcome Mr. Umakant. Umakant, sir, are you there?
Yes, thank you. Welcome.
Yes, yes, yes. So over to you. Uh, so you can share. Yes, you can start.
Okay. Uh, so hi everyone. The subject of this session is Introduction to Drug Regulatory Affairs, its scope and career opportunities. So if you have any questions, you can ask in between also. So let's start the session. First is a definition of drug regulatory affairs. Uh, DRA is short form. Is a mediator between the pharmaceutical company and drug regulatory authority. So mediator means what the company which wanted to register its product and market in a specific country. Uh,
Sorry to
so
interrupt,
the
Umakant
company
sir.
has to get the
Voice
license from
is
the
very
mediator
low at
authority.
your side, and there is some side disruption also background. As Umakant sir said that you can ask any query in between the session or after completing the session, right? So feel free to ask in this session. So your each and every query should be solved here.
Okay, can we start, Kavit?
Yeah, but still there is some noise. Can you
Yes,
minimize it or?
I also. So let's continue. Uh, if a company wants to market a product in a particular country, he has to means the company has to get a license from the government authority, and the license, the procedure or the through which the company gets the license. The regulatory affairs department works in the same area to acquire license from the regulator. There is a disturbance. Anyone can please mute yourself so there will be no disturbance to others also.
Yes, Umakant sir, start. You can start.
Okay. Next is the why DRA is required means why there is a requirement to means drug regulatory affairs. In the past, in 1937, over 100 people in the USA died because of diethylene glycol poisoning. Because it has been used in the sulfanilamide elixir, which is used as a solvent without any safety testing. So this is a major event, one of the major event. And next was the you also might be aware of the thalidomide tragedy that between 1958 and 1960, the thalidomide was introduced in 46 different countries worldwide, resulting in an estimated 10,000 babies being born with phocomelia and other deformity. Phocomelia means it is a congenital deformity having limbs and hands with means they were not developed properly. They were deformed. Means the development of the babies was not up to the normal babies. So these were the major events. These triggered the development of the DRA. Means, next is the why drugs should be regulated. Uh, Drugs are not ordinary consumer products. This is the first one. Next is many consumers don't know how to use. when to use and why to use drugs. Next is also medical professionals are not having adequate knowledge about drugs. And the use of ineffective, poor quality, harmful medicines can result in therapeutic failure, worsening of disease, and resistance to medicines, and sometimes death. So first point is they are not ordinary consumer products. So um, there are some drugs products are OTC products, means over the counter products, or some are prescription products. When the doctor gives prescription, then only the retail pharmacist can give us the product. So these are not ordinary consumer products. Next is many consumers don't know, means here is the main concern that sometimes we also do the self medication, and really sometimes we don't know also the harmful effects of the drug, and we keep on using the same drug. That's why the DRA should be means implemented. There is a and next is the medical professionals, like sometimes doctor also don't know while prescribing the drug that if a drug contains an excipient which is harmful or which is creating adverse effects or allergic reactions, that should be informed to the doctors during the consultation or during the visit to the doctors. So this area is also means informing the medical professionals also is important. Next is the poor quality, ineffective medicines. Poor quality means if the DRA is in place in a country, then the quality of the medicines made available to the public will be much more, means their quality will be high, means there will be no poor quality of drugs to the patients, so there will be no harm to the patient. So and next is the resistance to medicines, means if we are taking antibiotic, uh, for example azithromycin we are taking for sore throat or throat infection. If we take means more medicines, then we can get tolerated to the azithromycin, and after some days or after some years, there will be no effect or there will be no cure for throat infection. Uh, Also, you take the azithromycin, so there will be no effect of the drug on the body. So this will be a very means uh, harmful also. And next is the death also, means sometimes there are some potent drugs which can lead to death also. So that's why the drug should be regulated to overcome these drawbacks about the consumption of the drugs. Next is the thus, means overall summary is that thus to regulate the drugs and to protect the safety of the citizens, countries develop the national regulatory authorities. So the national regulatory authority should have a clear mission statement that they should have a clear mission that the drugs to their citizens should be made available in a cost-effective way, in a quality way. They should be safe and effective. This should be the mission. Next is the adequate medicines legislation and regulation. The NRA should develop their legislation, means their laws or regulations. So every company can get the approval through this legislation or regulation. Then next is the clearly defined NRA roles and responsibilities. The There are different uh, roles, means through NRA can get the approvals done from the company. That is new drug application. Then next is a generic application, and another is the investigational new drug. And there is a company believes that there's something promising results of the new drug in the clinical results. Then these different approval processes are operated by the NRA through different uh, departments. So these roles and responsibilities should be clear and defined by the NRA. Next is the internal collaboration with other NRIs. So in this also, I want to give one example that ICH is a international conference on harmonization of technical requirements which are required for the registration of the drugs for human use. So this is a collaboration between the US, Europe, and Japan. So this is a good example for the international collaboration with other NRIs. Um, Next is the effective internal quality system contribute to the success of a regulatory authority. So internal quality system should be there, should be implemented to give a good effective medicines to the citizens. So based on that quality system, the quality drugs will be made available to the public. You can ask the questions in between also if you have any doubts. So I go to the next slide. These are the examples of some regulatory authorities. Which first is the USA. US FDA is called US United States Food and Drug Administration. UK it is called MHRA, Medicines Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency. During interview also you will get definitely this question for freshers that tell the names of the different regulatory authorities. So this should be means the question during the interview. Next is the roles of DRA professionals. So first is to assist the R&D department in drug development process. In this regulatory person will provide the guidance regarding the type of the reference product to be used during the development of the product. Then next, the type of excipients which will be approved in that country. Means sometimes what happens, some excipients having harmful effects should not be used in that formulation. This guidance means will be provided by the DRA professional to the R&D department during development. Next is to acquire in-depth knowledge of regulatory guidelines. This should be means this is a core responsibility or role of the DRA professional to have the in-depth knowledge of the regulatory guidelines. Next is to coordinate and provide required information to cross-functional teams for generation of required data for filing purpose. Means there are different departments in a company from which the DRA has to take the data for filing purpose, such as the PDR department, means F&D department, formulation and development. Then next is the ADL department. ADL department means analytical development lab, in which the products developed will be analyzed to check their quality. Next is the stability department, in which the stability of the product is checked to to establish the shelf life or stability of the product. These are some examples of the departments, cross-functional teams, to which the regulatory team has to give the guidance or any required information to have the data to be generated in a required format for the filing purpose. Next is to file and obtain the approval of medicines from regulatory. This is a very important role, and this role coincides with that the DRA professional should have the in-depth knowledge of the regulatory guidelines, and if any query or something query arises from the regulatory authority during filing process, then there will be justifiable answers should be given by the regulatory person to the authority to get the approval. Next is to maintain the product life cycle. Product life cycle means when a product gets approved, then it should be there. The product's life should be maintained. Life means what? when a product is approved, it gets means registration period is 5 years. Means in that 5 years you can market the product, but after 5 years the registration period expires. Before that, we have to renew the product, means renew the license based on the market ability of that product. If the market ability is still there, means consumption is still there in a sufficient quantity, then marketing team will tell us to renew the license of the product. So the life of the product is get extended, means registration life of the product gets extended. This is one of the part. And next is the variations also, means in between the registration period there will be some manufacturing process change, some address of the manufacturing site will be changed. These changes will also be a part of the product life cycle. So this is also the main responsibility or role of the DRA professional to maintain the product life cycle. Is there any question? Okay. How DRA department works? This is a general flow, means how the DRA departments work in the company.
Sorry to interrupt, Umakant. Is there any query till now? Any session? Is this fast or understanding right? It is not fast, right? Is it understanding to everyone?
Yes, sir. But sir, background noise is coming, sir.
Yeah, someone on their mic. Okay, so I do these things, and right now I think the voice is clear, right? Right now, voice is clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So if any query, you can ask, unmute yourself and ask anytime. No issue. Otherwise, end of the session, you can also ask in a chat box. Also, you can message. Okay, so that your every query will be solved here. Okay. Yes, Umakant sir, you can continue. Thank you.
Okay. So first, the marketing team does the survey about consumption of that drug in a particular drug in the country. So after that, the marketing team raises DRF. DRF means what? Dossier registration form. So it is given by the marketing team to the DRA person, and after that, the DRA person goes through the guideline of that specific country, and that after that, the DRA person requests for the check the availability of the documents according to the guideline, and if any documents are lacking, then the DRA person requests the specific documents to the plant or QA person. After that, the filing procedure will be done, and next after filing, the if there is any query comes from the authority, the DRA person answers to that query, and the registration of the product is obtained. And next is the product approval and PLC maintenance. Means product approval is obtained, and PLC means product lifecycle maintenance. As I have explained earlier, there is a product lifecycle maintenance. Means in that the DRA person renews the registration validity of the product, or use the variations if there are any changes to the registered data of the product. So this is the main means working style of the DRA department in a pharmaceutical company.
Yes, sir. What is the full form of DRF?
Dossier registration form.
Okay, sir.
Dossier request form, you also dossier request form or dossier registration form.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next slide is how the registration of medicines are done. So in that registration To do the registration of medicines, dossier means it is a mixture or it is a set of documents prepared as per the country specific guideline, or it is prepared in line with the ICH format. So ICH is, as I have told you, it is a format designed by the three countries, USA, Europe, and Japan. And most of the countries follows the ICH CTD format. That is, CTD means Common Technical Document format for preparation of the dossiers. So, and next is the dossier is divided into 5 modules. So, to do the registration of medicines, country specific guidelines for some countries should be followed as per their requirement, and for other means for US, Europe, Japan, the CTD format is mandatory, and for most of the countries ICH format is followed with some variations. So we will see the dossier modules. uh, First, we will see that what is ICH. ICH means full form of the ICH is International Conference on Harmonization of Technical Requirement required for registration of human medicines. Means as the full form is self-explanatory. So it's a list of technical requirements which should be followed for registration of human medicines. So there are different guidelines. First is a quality guideline. Next is safety, efficacy, multidisciplinary guideline. In the multidisciplinary guideline, there is the M4 guideline, which includes the CTD structure of the dossier. Means it includes the how the dossier should be and what should be included in that dossier. These means all is included in the M4 guideline. Next is the M8 guideline, means which includes the ECTD structure of the dossier, means electronic common technical document. Um, these are the main parts of the guideline. In the here I will explain that in the quality there are different guidelines, such as which tells us about that how the stability should be conducted of the drug, in which storage conditions. Means there are majorly 4 storage conditions. One is 25, means which is applicable for Europe countries. Means in that cold storage is there. That is 2560, means 25 degrees Celsius temperature, 60% humidity. Next, for humid areas, that is means that is 3065, means 30 degrees Celsius temperature, 65% humidity. These all means quality related. All the guidelines are covered in the this quality part. Next is safety, means which studies should be conducted to prove the safety of the product. Means which animal studies should be conducted on which animals and for which period is discovered in the safety guideline. Next, the efficacy guideline means which are the studies on the human subjects should be conducted to do the efficacy of the product. Next, the multidisciplinary, which there are different guidelines which covers vast subjects like there are different, means what is the terminology, different types of terminologies are covered in the multidisciplinary guideline. So in that, M4 and M8 are the main guidelines which cover the CTD structure of the dossier. Now we will see dossier structure as per ICF. First is the module 1, which is administrative or regional information. This module is specific to the particular country. So in that there is means country specific requirements are there. So this module varies country to country. Means there is no fixed requirements for this module. Next is the quality overall summary, and third is the quality section, fourth is non-clinical section, and fifth is the clinical section. So now we will see in depth what this section includes. Different documents required for dossier filing. So module 1 is including, first is the cover letter, next is the application form, which is country specific. Legal documents. Legal documents means here also we in India also we get the license from the Food and Drug Administration. So we have to attach these licenses in the legal document section in the module 1. Then next is the artworks of the carton, label, leaflet. These should be attached. Means if after approval, the product will be marketed in this type of carton, label, and leaflet. So this is included in the module 1. Next is the module 2 to module 2. In this summary and overview of the module 3, 4, and 5 will be included. Means the overall summary of the 3 sections will be included in the module 2. Next is the module 3. In this, drug substance documents which are received from the drug substance supplier will be included. Means it is also called as DMF, means drug master file, or it is also called as active substance master file. These are the two short forms which are used for the drug substance documents which are received from the supplier. And module 3 also includes drug product documents which will be from initial development stage up to the drug product stability or till shelf life. Means this is the main module, module 3, in which the quality of the drug product and drug substance will be covered, will be given in that. So based on the module 3, the quality of the product will be mainly given in the mainly communicated to the authority. Any questions? Yeah, I will go to the next slide. The next is the module 4. It includes preclinical data, means studies which were done on the animals. Means during our pharma studies, we have done the experiments on rat and frog. These means during the development of the product also, the preclinical studies to check the safety of the products should be conducted. Means it is a requirement from the regulatory authority that you should check the safety of the product on the animals. So this data will be included in the module 4. In this literature search will also be included because preclinical data will be conducted by the innovator product only. Means the company or the product which is first time introduced in the market all over the world. It's called as innovator product. So the reference or the reference of that data can be taken and that will be added to the module 4, and this will be accepted by the authority. So next the module 5, which is clinical data, that is by equivalence study, that is comparison between the generic and innovator product. In that means the I'm this telling about generic product registration. In that, the bioequivalence study means what? There is an innovator product and there is a generic product. The comparison between the two, that is comparison regarding the rate and extent of absorption, will be done, and if that will meet an criteria, then the two products are called as bioequivalent. Then means after they declared as a bioequivalent means what? The generic product is interchangeable with the innovator product. Interchangeable means the generic product can be prescribed if the innovator product, the generic product is a replacement of the innovator product, because the innovator products are costly and generic products are having the less price. So the citizens or the patients will get a product with having the same quality but with lesser price. So this is the main motive of generic product development also. So in the module 5, the bioequivalence study will be included. And in case of innovator product, means if the dossier is of an innovator product, then the actual clinical study will be conducted, and in that the all the details or all the parameters will be tested on the human subjects, and this data will be included in the guideline. And how to conduct a clinical study, there is also a guideline for that, and there will be as per the that guideline, the bioequivalent, the clinical study should be done on the innovator products, and that should be represented in the module 5. Next is the innovator drug. Means what is innovator drug and what is generic drug? Innovator drug or reference drug is an approved drug product to which new generic versions are compared to show that they are bioequivalent. So as we have during the module 5 explanation, as we have seen that the innovator drugs are comparable, means the generic drug products are compared to the innovator product, so to show that they are bioequivalent. Next is the generic drugs. Means these are substitutes to the innovator drug products whose patent protection period is expired and which are manufactured by the companies other than innovator company. So when the patent is when innovator product is gets approved, the company also files a patent. Patent means the company files a patent, means what? They get a protection period, means during that protection period, not any other company can market the same drug, manufacture the same drug and market the same drug. So the innovator company gets and exclusive rights, means they get a whole market share to market their products. So there will be no competitor for the drug. So they will consume the whole market and get the whole market share of their for the product. So this is a main difference between the innovator drug and the generic drugs. Is there any question in this?
Someone asked Umakant sir in the chat box. Yeah, she Sendribo asked that does this procedure what you explain about dossier M1 M5 follows in CDSCO also?
Yes, this is dossier procedure from module 1 to module 5 is followed in US and Europe also. This is a procedure mainly developed by US, Europe and Japan. So they are the creators of this procedure. So this procedure is mainly followed in these countries mainly.
It is not in India, right?
Hello.
Yeah, it is followed in CDSCO also. I mean, it's in India also.
Yes.
One more question. Is module 1 included in CTD?
Yes, it is a part of the CTD. Module 1 is a part of CTD.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question from anyone? You can unmute and ask. Otherwise, here message also in chat box.
This is the main basic of drug regulatory affairs. Means how to prepare a dossier and which documents are included in the dossier. So if you have any questions, you can ask now or later also. That is you can ask now also.
Any question from anyone? Okay, I think no question. You can proceed.
Okay. Next is the USFDA filing process. In this investigational, there are two types of applications in US. First is the investigational new drug application. Second is the new drug application. Third is the abbreviated new drug application. Let's see the first part, investigational new drug application. Sometimes what happens, a company doing a research on a particular molecule, and the company see the results, some promising results or some positive results of that new drug or that investigational new drug in the small scale studies, small scale clinical studies or small scale preclinical studies. Then the company files an application to the authority. That application is called as investigational new drug application. Means what is the reason why the company files that application? The main reason is that at the same time, if any other company is doing the research on the same molecule, then there will be in means filed application. If there will be no filed application to the authority, then if the investigation new drug gets gets converted into a new drug application, then the company which doesn't files the application will not get the benefit of that market of that means उसको वो बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा कि वो आगे जाके उसको मार्केट कर सके और उसका उसका पीरियड उसको कम मिलेगा. तो इसके लिए जब भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन फाइल कर मतलब वो that is the rationale behind the filing of the investigation report, that at the same time when two different companies are means this is a coincidence means but in case of cost this matters a lot. So when the company does the investigation and find any positive results, then suddenly the company files the application to the authority. So no company can means get that benefit of the market. So next is the new drug application. New drug application means if the investigational new drug which was earlier filed or earlier developed by the company has the proved its safety and efficacy, then the application, new drug application is filed by the authority, and this new drug application is filed in the CTD format. So as we have means ICH CTD format means module 1 to 5. In these modules, all the data about the new drug, that is the innovator drug also it is called, will be given to the authority, and so this is the first time introduction into the market, so this is called as a new drug application. So after that, this is the most means common format followed by the all the companies, Indian companies, that abbreviated new drug application. Abbreviated means what? Abbreviated meaning is shorter, means shorter new drug application means what? In the ANDA application, there will be no preclinical section, or the there will be no preclinical section. This is a main reason behind the abbreviated ANDA application, that in the ANDA application all the data of the generic products, means generic drugs, are filed through ANDA application in the US market. This procedure is only applicable for filing of the products to the US market. Investigational new drug application, and ANDA application. Most of the products, generic products, all the generic products are filed through ANDA application. So in that, this also application is followed by the ICH CTD format, module 1 to 5 are given. In that, I have told you that preclinical section is not given. Then what is given in the module 4? In that section, the data of the innovator product is given. So literature search about the innovator drug, that it is safe, and it is safe for use in the humans, and the studies which are conducted by the innovator drug, conducted on the innovator drugs on the animals, references of these studies were given in the module 4 of the drug. All other sections were as explained earlier, and in the module 5 bioequivalence study is given, which we have seen here in the module 5. This is bioequivalence studies applicable for generic drugs, and this is given in an ANDA application. So this is a comparison between generic and innovator products. So this is all about the USFDA filing process. There are mainly 3 processes, which is investigational new drug application. Next is a new drug application, and the most common is ANDA application. Next is the filing process for Europe. In there, first is a centralized procedure, second decentralized procedure, third is a mutual recognition procedure, and fourth is a national procedure. First we'll see centralized procedure. Europe is a continent, and it is a means there are different 29 countries are there, which forms a Europe continent, and there are different internal regulations also for filing in each country. But if you are filing a product in a centralized procedure, this procedure is applicable for the drugs which are required for the very harmful diseases, or anti-cancer drugs, anti-HIV drugs, or any other life-threatening diseases. So centralized procedure is preferred. In this, what happens? There is a for Europe, the regulatory authority is European Medicines Agency. Is the name of the Europe centralized agency. Europe Medicines Agency. By filing the product to centralized procedure, the EMA agency means Europe Medicines Agency reviews the dossier which is filed through ICH CTD structure, means module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all given, and the product is filed. This is a centralized, means after getting the approval from centralized procedure, the product can be marketed in all the countries, in all the Europe countries which are this is a benefit of the centralized procedure. Next is a decentralized procedure, means in this if we have to file the product in a 2 to 3 countries or 4 to 5 countries at a time, means today we have to send a application or dossier to 2 to 3 countries only in the Europe. So we have to follow decentralized procedure, means this is the product will get approved only in the 2 to 3 countries only. So we will get the authority to market in the 3 countries only. Why? If there is a market potential, is anti-cancer drugs or anti-HIV drugs, these have the more market potential. Get the approval process, so these will be filed through centralized procedure. Next is a decentralized procedure, means if a product is having a potential only in some countries, so the decentralized procedure will be followed, and the product at a time will get approved through decentralized procedure in the specific countries. Next is the mutual recognition procedure. Mutual recognition procedure means what? If the product is marketed in the UK, United Kingdom, then with the help of the reference of the UK, the product can be get approved in other countries also. So if we give the reference that the product is approved in UK, and we apply for the registration in Germany, so there will be less review of the dossier documents, and we will get the approval from the German regulatory authority. So this is the benefit of the mutual recognition procedure. But in this, there will be a condition that the product should be already approved in one of the Europe member state. So then only we can get the benefit of mutual recognition procedure. Next is the national procedure. National procedure means here we have to give the application to each country. Means if the market potential is only in Germany, so we will give the Germany application in Germany only. So we will get the approval. Here, all these procedures require the ICS CTD format of the dossier only. Means model 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the application format is same. Only the regulatory authorities are different and on the country specific. So there will be no any filing procedure difference between all these countries. Next is the product lifecycle management. In this variations, minor variation and major variation. Two types of variations are there. Minor variation includes, variation means what? If the product is approved, when the product is approved, the manufacturing plant makes some changes in the manufacturing process, or sometimes the address of the manufacturing site gets changed, or the name of the company gets changed. Then these types of changes will be filed to the agency through an application that is called as a variation application. This application is applicable to all of the countries, and this have a means country specific format. Variation means company files. So these types of quality variations are there. And
Umakan sir, your voice is interrupted. I hope others also face interruption, right? Umakan sir, are you there?
hello,
Umakan sir, yes, your voice is interrupted.
now it's clear.
हाँ अभी ठीक है अभी ठीक है okay you can you repeat again?
Yes, yes, I will repeat the. It is called as changes. Means when a product gets approved, the manufacturing site or the company makes some changes to the registered document. Registered documents means its composition, its any changes in the stability sections of the product, changes in the container closure means, and these types of changes will be filed to the authority through a variation application, and this is a country specific format. So which is there. So different types of documents required for different variations. There are mainly two types of variations. One is a minor variation and second is a major variation. Means minor variation is what? If there is a uh, less impact on the quality of the product, then this is called as a minor variation. And if there is a major impact on the product, major impact on the quality or safety or efficacy of the product, then this is called as a major variation. The time required or the documents required for the both of the variations are differing, and the time required for the review of the both of the variations by the authority are different. In case of minor variation, 30 days will be taken by the authority to review and give approval. In case of major variation, depends on the type of variation. Means uh, authority can take 60 days also or 90 days also. So this is the main difference between the two types. And next is the renewals. Renewals means after the getting the approval, first time approval from the authority, and after completion of the 5-year registration period, the product needs to be renewed. So every country has specific format for the renewal of the product. So some countries take the data from the market. So in the registration period validity, what is the safety of the product, means how the product behave in the market. So is there any side effects? Is there any adverse effects given by the drug? So that all data is collected by the company and it is represented in the renewal application. It is also called the renewal dossier. But the format is different. It is not as per the common technical document or CTD. So this is a means renewal procedure with short means less documents. All the documents are not covered in this. Some marketing means when the product gets initially approved and how it behaved in the market. So safety related documents are mainly important, and all the changes which have done during the registration validity all should be covered in this renewal application. So this is about the renewal application or renewals, and these two procedures in combination called as the product life cycle management. Means life of the products gets managed, means there is no lapse between the means the registration validity of the product gets continued throughout the means throughout its life. Any questions? So next is the qualification and skills required for the DRA professional. It should be a pharma graduate or postgraduate. Next is the MS Word and MS Excel handling, and the basic knowledge of pharma and ICH guidelines. So here I have to explain that means there is somewhat different from the other departments like QA department. These all departments differ from the regulatory affairs in the teaching. Means now there are some courses or there are some postgraduate subjects in the teaching. Earlier there were not. So if you are a pharma graduate, you should have a means sound knowledge about the all these subjects. And if you are a postgraduate, then if you have done a postgraduate in Sutics or ecology or QA or any other subject, so you should have a good knowledge of that your postgraduate subject. So if you have been asked to review a if you have done a Sutics postgraduate in Sutics for pharmaceutics, you should be aware of the pharmaceutical development report. Pharmaceutical development report means what? How the development of the product is done. In pharmaceutics post graduation, you must be aware that we need to develop a product and analyze it and test the efficacy or test the um, how it behaves in comparison with the our comparator product. So what parameters are checked, how it is developed. So all this when asked during the interview, they should be very well answerable by the person. Next is the sound MS Word and MS Excel handling. So uh, this all will be also gets covered during the thesis preparation also. And next is the basic knowledge of pharma and research guidelines. Um, Pharma means all the subjects which we study during the graduation or post graduation should be well aware of that. And next is the ICH guidelines. ICH guidelines are very much important, and these covers all the necessary part which is required during the execution of the regulatory work. So, in a regular day-to-day life of the regulatory person, the ICH guidelines are very much needed. So, the ICH guidelines should be very well understood and known by the other person. It is a career opportunity. Uh, Career opportunities are there, vast career opportunities are there because every company wants to market their product in a other foreign country because the market potential and the what is means here the company develops or produces and manufactures a drug in a less amount and gets rewarding price in other countries, dollars or in pounds. So there is a huge benefit for the company. So every company now starting a regulatory affairs department and having a good opportunities are there in the regulatory affairs department also. So if you are a graduate means postgraduate or a pharma graduate, so you have a basic knowledge because initially I have also I will tell you my experience also. I have completed my post graduation in pharmacology. So initially, when I have joined the DR department, I was not taken to prepare a dossier directly. I was taken to review and prepare the non-clinical and clinical documents. So by going through these modules, module 4 and module 5, I have started my career, and after that, after getting experience in these two modules, I have I have gone through the other modules, means quality module, module 1 and module 2. So if you are a pharmaceutics graduate, you should have that means, product specific knowledge means in which you have done any specialization. So through this department, you can get the entry, and after that, after some years, you will get the full exposure of that dossier queries or renewal procedure or variation procedure. So your base should be clear to get an entry in the regulatory departments. Through this base only you will get the entry in the department. So this is the main, and every there are many companies who can offer a opportunity to freshers because there is a huge requirement to the freshers also. Um, Next is the questions. You can ask questions if any. can ask the questions.
Any question? Umagan sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. So the question, uh, if we don't get into RA as a fresher, then which department should we go into? If in future we want to shift in RA, means that which is the department where the count of experience will be counted when we shift to RA.
Uh, there is means no such specific department. You can have experience of means most preferable departments are like QA and then production. These are the main preferable departments which will be given preference while entering into the regulatory department, because in regulatory we need to review the documents which comes from the cross-functional teams. Documents such as PDR, pharmaceutical development report, then like analytical method validation, then stability, then specification. These department means these documents are the person should have knowledge about these documents. So a QA person having a person having experience in QA department very well knows about these documents. So he means he will be given preference, QA person. Then next is the pharmaceutical, means the person which work in the formulation and development department. So because the person knows about the development strategy of the product, the person knows about the pharmaceutical development report, which is a main important document in the dossier. He also knows about how to set the specification of a product, how to check the means the quality of the product, how to means uh, how its shelf life, how the product behaves during the shelf life. So the person who's having experience in these two departments will be preferred in the quality assurance and formulation and development.
Okay. So I think in the quality assurance, the experience will be counted, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the next is how much. Okay. Nina, sorry, Umakan sir. Someone asked to you how much experience you have in the drug regulatories.
I have more than 10 years of experience in regulatory affairs. Initially, I have worked for rest of the world market, means Asia market, Africa market, and now I am working for the Europe market. So I have more than 10 years of experience.
Okay. Okay. So I hope this question, Nadim, you got your answer right. A question from Pratik, that is for fresher.
Sorry, Amit, your voice is. Hello?
Am I audible?
No, Amit, you are not audible.
Now, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So the question is, for fresher, there is always experienced candidate required. So how can fresher apply for regulatory affairs?
Fresher definitely can apply through his means uh, there is always means the company also wants the fresher candidates also, because for each company fresher means experienced candidate means I will explain you in detail. In each company there is a some means there is a regulatory department in which the experienced persons are there. There is a person limits, means experienced person should be this much, and fresher or near to fresher candidates are this much. So in that, the fresher quota is also there, means we can tell in that manner. So because uh, each company needs fresher, because experienced candidates are means their salary is much more. They can, means every company can't afford for each work. If they have to employ the experienced candidates, the expenditure on regulatory affairs department will be more. So the company prefers to fresher candidates also. So there is no such thing that the company will not employ the fresher candidates also. But there are vacancies. You can be on the LinkedIn, or you can be in touch with your seniors through these platforms. So you can get opportunity to enter into the regulatory affairs through these sites, or through any if you means there are company also post the vacancies on their career opportunity site, on their sites. So you can upload their resume, and when the company gets any requirement, they can search in their database, and you can get a call from the company. So this is the way you can apply to the regulatory department.
So the next question, you can unmute and ask anyone, okay? Uh, so the question from Karthik sir, how are you in regulatory field for Europe, being in India? What is the role it in Europe or any other market?
Sorry, I have not understood.
Uh, this question is how you be in Europe market, how you be working for Europe market from India, and what is the role of yours?
Okay. Uh, so my company name is Brill Pharma Limited. The company is office situated in the United Kingdom. So here there is a corporate office. From here, the company manufacturers, means there are different manufacturing, means contract manufacturers are there. From these companies, the company manufactures their product and sell in the Europe market. Here, the main our role is that uh, to get the product approved, and to maintain the product life cycle of the product. So here we do the variations, we handle the query, we do the initial means registration, means documents preparation also. So these are main roles of our means department here in the India, and through these offices in UK and other countries in Europe, they handle, means every country there is a means requirement that there should be a office, or there should be a representative of that company in that country also. So means localite, in short. So through that localite, the company means that localite means that person of the company in that country uh, get in connection with the authority. If any concerns are there, if any documents hard copy need to be submitted, or if there is any meeting should be conducted. So this type of activity is going on in India, and my activity is to perform the product life cycle management, means variations, query handling, and the initial registration of the dossiers, and review of the documents which come from the manufacturing sites, means which are in the India or in other countries also. So this is the main part, or this is the main role which we do in the India.
One more question is someone has experience in IPQA. That is the Pratik. Okay, so is that experience counted while working in RA?
Yes, this also experience gets counted in the regulatory affairs. Um, this also get counted.
Is there any course for drug regulatory affairs? Mithun asked that. Is there any course who want to learn in depth?
Yes, there are many courses and there is post graduation also in regulatory affairs run by some universities, and you can means get admission and get a master degree in the regulatory affairs specialized subject also. So there are many courses and post graduation or studies also there in Pune University, and in Pune University is there. Yes.
Any other question from anyone? Bhagyasri, you have some question? You raise hand. You can unmute yourself, ask, or in chat box you can write. Most important question, that is how if any fresher can approach for job in drug regulatory affair. What are the ways?
Uh, there are you should be in contact with the your seniors, and you should be up to date on the sites related to the jobs, and you should update your resume or upload your resume on the sites of the companies through which you can get a call. And if you have time, you can do a course on the regulatory affairs, so you can be a preferred candidate with extra knowledge about the regulatory affairs. So you will not be considered any newcomer to the regulatory affairs, because you already know which uh, guidelines are there, which authorities are there, which are giving approval to the medicines. So you will be a uh, you have sufficient knowledge about the regulatory affairs department.
How is the payout for the fresher and experience?
Uh, Payroll for the freshers depends on the company policy. On an average, it is 12 to 15,000 per month, and for experience, it varies, depends on the number of years of experience. So this is a variable. Variable depends on the company.
Uh, Umakant sir, can you enlisted some of the name of the company that offers job in drug regulatory affair that work in specific that domain?
Many companies are there. I will enlist some of the companies. First is Ajanta Pharma, Macleod's Pharma, Ajanta Pharmaceuticals Limited, Macleod Pharmaceuticals Limited, Brill Pharma Limited, Novartis, Pfizer, TCS is also there. Then Cognizant is there. In these companies also there is opportunity for regulatory affairs. Next, there are many companies, Torrent companies there. Alchem is there, Indoco is there. So Cipla is there, well-known company. So most of the companies have regulatory affairs department, and they offer the job for the freshers also.
Okay.
Because every company can't afford the experience, only experienced candidates in their team, because their salary pay scale will be huge. So fresher candidates are also preferred. So there is no to do worry about the entry in the regulatory department.
Okay. How is the interview process? There are how many rounds are there, and what are the some frequently questions asked during interviews for fresher?
Uh, uh, Mainly, uh, interviews depends on the company also. First interview will be the HR interview in which the company general forms will be filled like personal information and what is the qualification. These HR interviews will be. Some companies also conduct aptitude test also. And next is the quality means interview in which the questions related to your qualification are asked. In that, if you are a graduate or pharma graduate, mainly main questions are you can enlist also. These are frequently asked questions for freshers. If you are a fresher, then you have mm, about your introduction. This is the first question mainly. After that, uh, if you are post graduation, yeah, on your thesis, the questions will be asked. After that, if you have done a post graduation in Sutix, then depend on that related to product characteristics, the questions will be asked. Means what is the uh, what is meant by film coated tablet? What is meant by uncoated tablet? What is the disintegration time of film coated tablet, uncoated tablet, intercoated tablet? Next is what is meant by what are the different tests to be conducted on a product, means description, uh, other microbial tests, means this number of tests. What is the if you have done any means you are a graduate in pharma, then questions all over means can be asked mainly on the product part. Here also the different types of uh, product characteristics also asked. Then next is the what is about regulatory affairs. What do you know about bioequivalence? What is meant by resolution? These different definitions are asked. And next is the definition. What do you know about regulatory affairs? Which are the different authorities? Um, what is meant by dossier? What is meant by ICH? These different guidelines are also asked. And if the interview gets in depth, he can also ask about the country specific, any module specific, any document required. Means in module one, which type of documents to be submitted, model specific interrogations can also be asked for interviewers based on the your interview means your answers.
Uh, okay, thank you. And one more question from Pradnya: which is better to work in clinical research organization or in the pharma industry?
Um, Comparison if is there, so I will prefer pharma industry only because there are different options are there, and clinical research or there are limited options because every company is not having this CRO, and there are mainly limited and companies are there, so you can have a good career in the pharma.
I hope all the questions are solved. If anyone has query, you can ask. And one more thing we have to share. Can you stop sharing, Umakant sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That I uh, I want to like announce something that here you can check about the drug regulatory affairs. We are now launching the course, that is a 3 month certificate course in the drug regulatory affairs uh, from the Global Pharma Academy. That is, we have already conducted the courses for the pharma marketing. Then right now pharmacovigilance course is going on. Then retail pharma is going on. But this is another next course we are introducing, that is drug regulatory affair, where you can learn from the scratch. And definitely this is from our academy, and this is ISO certified academy. Okay, so you can learn here like SWOT analysis, like individual interview preparation is there, and everything you can get from the expert. Okay, and also we are trying to connect with the various organizations. Okay, so job assistance will be definitely there, so you can also join this. For that you can contact in our email ID, mypharmacareer2@gmail.com, or you can message in any of our video. You can reach us at anywhere. Okay, even insta handles, we will share everything. And in coming days we will announce about this course. Okay, so this is just announcement, and the rest of the thing will be shared soon on our channel. Okay. Any other question? Any other question, anyone? Okay. Umakant sir, you want to tell some message to our student fresher?
Yes. Um, there is no means if you are a pharma graduate or postgraduate, you have means no time for doing any specific course, or you are willing to do course, then it is fine. But your product specific knowledge or should be clear, and that is more important to get a chance or to get entry in the regulatory department. Because if you have done any post graduation in some subject, that area will be your key area to get entry in the regulatory department. And for graduates, you should be in means there is a overall knowledge should be there regarding the subjects, which you can go through the ICH guidelines, M4 and M4 guideline, which will tell you about the structure of the CTD. So about the documents, you can read that what is the structure of the documents and which are the contents. So through this you can get a means your will answers provided by you will be satisfied by the question. Means the question means the person will be satisfied with your answer, so it will be easy for you. So this is the main.
Okay, so if anyone has don't any had question, so I hope that presentation will really help you everyone to get everything knowledge about the drug regulatory affairs. And thank you, Umakant sir, for being there, and your dedication and your time, and every participant. Thank you for your participation. Okay, so I conclude this session, and thank you being there for everyone. I hope you got this everything got clear, right? Thank you. You can
Thank
leave now,
you. Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Umakant sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.